Daddies. Daddies.
Welcome back to Death Metal Dies, everyone. I'm Jeff,
I'm Silas.
and you're listening to another week with us at Death Metal Daddies. So, yeah, new stuff. Hopefully, if not, I can edit this awkward part where I'm talking about it out loud. But
Yeah, that'll be okay. I'm
yeah,
sure we'll figure out how to get away from this awkward moment.
yeah, there's always a
Uh,
way.
No. Yeah. But so anyways, I'm
Yeah,
Barry McCockiner this week.
yeah. See, we are joined by the very famous Mr. McCockiner, first name Barry. Is Barry short for
Uh,
anything?
no. It's one of those combo words if you say it real fast.
What Barry?
Barry McCockiner.
I don't get it.
Keep saying it.
That reminds me of a Mr. Dover I met, first name Ben, or also this girl I knew, Makuchi, first name Munch. Um,
Oh, it's so good. Uh,
did you ever try those energy
you never
drinks
get old.
as a kid? The Dickin cider.
Oh, no, I didn't.
It
Was
was
that a real drink?
it was a real drink, but I think it also had horny goat weed in it.
Wow, really?
Yeah,
So like literally gave you a stiffy.
yeah, but I think I was like 13. It was energy drinks were new on the market. It was
Holy shit. Probably totally illegal.
yeah, they weren't out that long.
You know what? That like I I guess if you're like a kid and you're going to take a whiz at a truck stop bathroom and you got some quarters on you, like 9 times out of 10, there's still those machines in those truck stop bathrooms, the gas station bathrooms,
Hmm.
and they often have like the horny goat weed. And so like if you're a kid, that's an easy way you can get some.
Yeah,
Because I'm sure you're supposed to be like 18 or older to buy it, right?
yeah. Which would be
It's kind
worse
of
than those?
weird.
Which would be worse for a kid to buy in that bathroom? The horny goat weed or those like Stinger Ultra Energy trucker pills that they take as well?
Well, it's usually that or like cock rings or condoms or something.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I don't know. I feel like some of them are like mystery. It's like the adult version of like, like the little kid toy mystery boxes that the kids are all into now.
yeah. You're gonna get a Wonder Ball at a truck stop
Yeah.
with adult stuff.
Yeah. Mystery pouch. Mystery pouch for truckers.
I got
Uh,
this butt plug.
yeah. Oh, sweet. Now I can shove this up my ass and drive for miles.
Hopefully, it's Bluetooth
Awesome.
compatible.
Yeah.
So, anyways, on to
Good stuff.
serious business. Besides trucker boner pills, how have you done this? How's your week been?
Pretty good, man. Um, Not too bad. Kind of slowed up on the foam. My school picked up like this course I'm in right now is a tough bitch. It's a statistics course, and I'm not a math dude. I when numbers get involved, I shut down. Like, totally just power down. Don't like it. So Lex has obviously been humping me with a lot of that, and she's doing good. But really, it's been a lot of football watching. Aside from that, went out bow hunting again. Didn't see a single damn deer, so that's awesome. Not really, but trying to think what else. Oh, doing some shopping. Gearing up for Christmas. That fun day. So other than that, man, that's pretty much it. Nothing too crazy going on over here. What about you?
Probably even less. I have less stuff going on. I've said before I don't like to just say work since every week we're gonna work, but I've been very much busy with work. It's I
Hmm.
had a drill this past weekend, so I haven't had a day off since last Sunday. But I mean, that's how it is every month, at least one every 2 week period. But I mean, it wasn't too bad. Got to go to St. Louis Saturday, so I was on. I left home about 4, came back about 8. Um, but then Sunday we had our Christmas party. That wasn't too bad. It was better than
Nice.
last year in the sense that so every year they have like a Santa thing, and they get a bunch
Hmm.
of toys donated to them. And what they'll do is they will just like write an age and a gender on a present. So when Santa, they ask kids, "How old are you?" They go up to see Santa. They give them a present. Jensen and Annie did it last year. Annie opens hers. It's this baby doll stuff. She's so excited. Jensen's opens his, and his is a baby doll. And we're all like, oh shit, they messed up. And like, oh cool, but like trying to pass it off, like, oh cool, buddy, you got a
Yeah.
baby doll. No, he instantly knew, and he started bawling, causing a scene at this Christmas party. And
Oh
my
man.
my supervisor came and was like, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" I was like, "He got a girl toy, and he knows." And so they hurried real quick, got a new one.
Oh, that's
Luckily,
good.
luckily that didn't happen this year, so that wasn't too bad. Um,
Yeah,
other
that's
than
good.
that, yeah, other than that, I've just been typical stuff. Been reading more of that death metal book, which has been good. They're past the grindcore beginnings. Now they're on to the death metal beginnings, which is kind of exciting. They're talking about um, Chuck Schuldiner of Death, his whole thing, Morbid Angel, which was also super interesting. Been listening to a lot of Morbid Angel because of it. So it's been good.
Nice. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, man. Yeah, I would say that the music has been the highlight of my week too. It's, I kind of went through some podcasts, but really I discovered some new tunes that I just got super stoked about and just really kind of obsessive on the music this last week. So that was pretty fun.
That's good.
But yeah.
Anything in
Did
particular?
I really dug that Lowen album. They're a different band. I know they're really different, especially for metal. Um, but I don't know, dude. There's something just so captivating about it to me. But
I gotcha.
yeah, yeah. Should we get into the weekly playlist? I guess with that being said, or what?
Sure. Maybe we should start talking about new releases. New release.
What are you guys listening to?
Weekly playlist.
Weekly playlist.
Weekly playlist. Weekly.
Weekly playlist.
Yeah, like I've been saying for a while, is that since we are getting close to the end of the year, I try to keep it at a bare minimum when it came to new albums. So
Hmm.
just I think I uploaded about what 6 singles, and then there was what 3 albums. So it's
Yeah.
very a lot shorter. Um,
Hmm.
you wanna what do you want to talk about first?
Well, since I just mentioned it, I want to talk about this album from this band Lowen. I'd never heard of this band before and scoped them out on Spotify. It looks like they're a pretty small time band. Only got like around 15,000 followers or something like that. Hang on, gotta let my psycho cat in. This band Lowen, pretty sweet. Um, this album is titled "Do Not Go to War with the Demons of Mazandaran." So yeah, right on. But it's very cool. I think they're from, let's see, London-based band who formed at an Acrecock concert in 2017. They play Middle Eastern progressive doom using instruments from Iran and explore ancient Sumerian and Akkadian poetry alongside modern Farsi and English lyrics. But it's fronted with a chick singer, that's very apparent when you jam this band. And it's kind of like the singing is honestly like comparable, I think, to Lacuna Coil, but
Yeah,
it's constant, like kind of that, long gasping singing, but it's I don't know, dude. It's really, really good. I think she's an incredible vocalist. But really, what got me hooked was the instruments, man. The riffs are just so damn sick. Like that song that I sent you, the first one that really got me hooked is called "The Seed That Dreamed of Its Own Creation." And it's just like down, 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 down. It's like, oh, damn, dude. Oh, so damn juicy. Badass riffage, dude. Badass drumming. I mean, it's just all on par. The music, and for me, it was just made it so easy to just run through this entire album multiple times. So this was definitely on repeat for me this last week, man. Again, this band's name is Lowen, Lowen. Super badass, super gnarly. I don't think you'll regret it. Check them out. What about you? What all did you check out? What was your favorite? that
My
you listened to?
favorite. So most of these are mostly the albums were added today. So really the only one I got all the way through. Actually, I think I got through two of them. Then Low and I only checked out the first song, but you kind of brought up a lot of things I was going to talk about. I very much noticed like the Middle Eastern stuff. I really thought of Lacuna Coil when it came to the vocalist. One thing I did notice, it seemed like every time, almost seemed like there was a back and forth between like the vocalist doing her thing and things kind of be more open in that Middle Eastern thing. But then when it went to just the instruments, it seemed like every time they did that switch, the instruments got heavier and heavier and heavier, which I thought was pretty
Yeah,
cool.
yeah,
So,
dude.
but music wise, I'd say the thing that excited me the most uh was a band I didn't know was coming out with new music. It's a band I love, and I'm very excited if this is building towards a new album. That's the new song by Spirit World,
Ooh, yeah.
Western Stars in the Apocalypse. Uh, I really got into this band. Their previous album, I think it was Death Western, which anyone who doesn't know Spirit World, think of pretty much the video game Undead Nightmare, the Red Dead Redemption game. Pretty much imagine that, but with like Hatebreed and Slayer music. It's a blast,
Yeah.
very very fun. New songs out. It's cool. It's very short and ends abruptly, so I don't know if it is building towards a new album and it just is supposed to lead in directly to the next song, but it makes me excited for new Spirit World.
Absolutely, dude. And like I've always loved this band because they have this like to me, they have such an obvious like Mastodon old school Mastodon riffage vibes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's not necessarily what they're doing on vocals, but they have a whole like a really good style going on. And I think it all just makes perfect sense, even though they're like it looks like they're all in cowboy gear and shit. And like, you know, I've never seen them live, but I think that would be pretty cool to see. They have like this old it's almost like a cowboy Vegas kind of, you
Mm-hmm.
know, vibe, like gambler like style. It's interesting, man. They definitely got my interest. But yeah, cool ass band for sure. I didn't get to check out this new Bleeding Through track. What'd you think of it?
It was good. So this versus the other kind of like a metalcore, deathcore band that has clean vocals. I thought this one was a little bit better. It has kind of like it reminds me of Make Them Suffer, but less of the clean vocals aren't as they're more gothic feel for me on this one as opposed to Make Them Suffer felt more like the typical um clean sing that we typically hear from that. That was my only issue with Make Them Suffer's new stuff was just that clean vocal stuff. This one it feels more fluid. The main vocalist still sounds like his typical pissed off self. Uh,
Yeah.
I got into this band late, but I do like what I'm hearing, and I'm glad that they are back making more music. I did like this new song, "Path of Our Disease." Hopefully, that is also building towards a new album. Um,
Yeah, no doubt, man. I'm definitely excited that that band's back. I mean, I guess they didn't really go anywhere, I don't think. Like I want to say that they kind of had hiatuses, and but I don't know that they really ever broke up. It just kind of seems like they went out of the scene for a bit and then they just kind of like pop back every now and then. I know the dude's just like a gym junkie, so I think maybe he's just like working out constantly in between music, but um yeah, I don't know. It's always refreshing to hear these dudes come back because I've always been a big fan.
Yeah. Another release that you showed me this one. And I wanted to bring this up because I really liked it, but also I think it ties to the subject we're going to talk about tonight, but we'll get to that later. And that was the new album by No Cure. Name of the album was, I just had it up. I Hope I Die Here. And much
Brutal as
like,
hell.
yeah, much like Aborted's new album, this album, every single song has a feature of some kind. And
Yeah, super badass.
This is just moshing, just craziness. It's kind of like almost like I wouldn't say beatdown because I feel like it's more faster and more aggressive than beatdown, but it's just like
Mhm.
hardcore metalcore awesomeness. This is just like people jumping on people. I imagine at a concert trying to get the microphone. If that's something that interests you, you might also want to check out some of the songs they got with featuring. We got one with Gideon, one with My Children, My Bride, the Slam Brigade. One thing though that so a big track for me was Your Children Will Drown in the Burr. What is the rest of the name of the song? Will Drown in the Burr.
Burning River.
Yeah, The Burning River. That was a great song. But one thing that caught my attention was the last song, War Cry. I always hear people complaining about the vocals of Knocked Loose. The guy that's featured on this song sounds like him, but even worse. I'm fine with it,
Oh wow.
but it sounds like imagine the guy from Knocked Loose trying to scream even higher,
Oh geez.
and that's this
Wow.
guy.
Well, I feel like the No Cure dude, like the front man of this band, like has like the knock loose kind of shit going on, doesn't he? I feel like that's like his ride. And then do you have like these like just freaking rides of like this dying fetus kind of deathy shit, you know? Like really, if I could describe this band, it would be if Dying Fetus and Knock Loose had a baby.
That would
As
be
weird
good.
as that is. I mean, as weird as that sounds, it's just like they're definitely core. Um, they like to, throw the titles into the songs and, make those apparent, but which isn't a problem. But I don't know the track. The I'm not dogging this track by any means, but I could not help but think of the dude in Scary Movie 2 in the wheelchair. I could do it myself on the track. Don't need your help. I just could not help but think of that guy. So, um,
Like my strong
but
hand.
yeah, but it's just because, like I said, they like push those titles into the songs. So, uh, but yeah, this was the death metal anthem for that guy, for the wheelchair guy. But anyways, solid album, dude. Heavy as hell, brutal as hell. I love the album art. I thought the album art really sucked me in, and because it almost looks like a video game, like kind of epic. You know what I mean? It's
Mhm.
awesome. So, but brutal as hell looking, man. And yeah, sick album for sure. Definitely check that one out.
Yes. What are some more? Was there anything else that stuck out to you on on this playlist?
I didn't really get into the singles that you had on here. You had another one from Frontier. I'm just not big on those guys, but they're, hypermathy, so it's just not really my dig. Caliban and Mental Cruelty, I was interesting how that one came out. I think you sent me this single alone. I did not get a chance to scope it out, but
I gotcha.
yeah, what do you think of it? Or
So with Frontier first, I think this was the my least favorite of the three singles they've come out with because this one was a lot more had a lot less meat on it because there was a lot of just like openness, now nothing going on, almost like they were building up. There was a like a 45 seconds of the intro is that, and it's only like a 2 minute song. So I'm just kind
hmm.
of wondering, is like, well, where's the rest of the song kind of thing? But uh it still is exciting because it's Frontier. The ending of the song is great. It's beaten in your head, breakdown, mathy, awesome. This is the third track of their upcoming EP that's 4 tracks long. And I don't know if anyone's noticed this, but the name of the EP is literally all the songs combined to somehow form a sentence. It's The Skull Burned. Uh, fuck. No,
Fucked it up.
yeah. It's the second track I can't remember. I remember the skull burned wearing hell like a life vest as the night wept.
That's pretty sweet.
So no more singles when it comes out. It'll just be out and we'll just get one more song. But it's still exciting. New frontier. Hopefully, this means they're also going to come out with a new album. Caliban.
Maybe the last song's like 20 minutes.
Well, I'm also hoping maybe they're fucking with us and actually it's a full length album and these are songs that are scattered throughout the album. That would be great, but I doubt it. But yeah. Caliban. This is a band I've kind of forgotten about. I got into them for a summer because they had one really cool song with like We Are the Many. It had the singer from Heaven Shall Burn and Mitch Lucker and someone else. And I want to say As Blood Runs Black did like gang vocals on as well. But it was a great riff, cool song, and the guest vocalist parts were so cool. And I think it was also came out after Mitch Lucker died, so it was even cooler kind of thing. But
that is sweet.
The band is kind of hit and miss because their heavy parts are cool. I'm not big into the clean singing part. Nothing against clean singing. I just don't feel like it fits with this band. But this new song, Guilt Trip, featuring Mental Cruelty, which I've kind of opened myself up to more, though I'm getting more and more into them. It's not bad. I could just do without the clean part in the middle, but I think the Mental Cruelty part's pretty cool. You can tell right away when his part's in because the one thing I made fun of, he's actually still good at the snarl kind of stuff. So it's not a bad song. Check it out. I don't mean to dog it. I'm just not a big into it. I'll still probably listen to it every now and then. It's just something about the cleans throws me off.
Okay, asshole. Just kidding.
Other than that, though, the other two singles, Dream Theater, A Broken Man. Did you check that out at all?
Was this okay? Is this a brand new release? Because I listened to the one that came out 2 or 3 weeks ago. I just forgot to add it to the playlist. Is this that same single, or is this a brand new release that just dropped?
I want to say this is a brand new one because they've come out. I want to say this is the second single they've come out. I think they're building up for another new album. I know Dream Theater. I'm hit and miss with Dream Theater, especially with their long-winded songs. And their vocalists, I'm not super into them, but I've been getting really into these singles. They're pretty good. This one I feel like is even heavier.
Oh, nice.
One thing though I've noticed, and I'm hoping happens. So seems like Dream Theater fans as a whole want the singer out of the band. Like I guess
Really?
he's even worse live. Like he doesn't even attempt to hit the high notes.
Oh wow.
But I saw a video. I guess Devin Townsend has gone on stage with them a couple times and sang with the singer, and he sounds great. The fans love him. I think that would be a perfect addition.
I've never even thought about that, but yeah, if that dude leaves and then Devin Townsend joins, I don't know. I don't know personally any diehard Dream Theater fans, but I know that Dream Theater is that band that has a whole gang of diehard Dream Theater fans. Just because I don't know, I feel like I see their shirts worn a lot, like at just random metal shows. And they are like a stellar lineup of musicians. Like the drummer is very popular for, his abilities, super kick-ass drummer. And just I don't know. I mean, they made it into that game Rock Band or whatever with that song. So they like totally blew up then. But yeah, man, Devin Townsend, I could imagine like his vocals on their music. I bet that would be fucking epic. Super epic.
Because I also think when they do the rocking parts and some of the more heavier metal parts, I think he could actually he has a more vocal stuff he can do. He can actually do the screams and stuff. They want to add screams to their vocals. I think would be cool.
It's definitely missing. Like, I listen to Dream Theater, and that's what I think. I'm just like, they could definitely use some screams in this. So
mhm.
I don't know, but yeah, I'm definitely digging the new stuff that I have heard. Like I said, I listened to the last single, but I have yet to listen to this one. So,
I
but I'll check it
gotcha.
out for sure.
And then the last single is the song "White Bikes" by Thursday. This isn't really metal, but it's just a band that I love, and they are. I just want to give appreciation to this band since they apparently do everything they've been doing recently has been without a label or any kind of backing. It's literally just money they've been putting together and fans buying merch. They traveled all the way to some special studio, I guess, in Europe that they wanted to record the song on. Um, so hopefully this is building up towards an album. First album probably in 10 or 12 years. So I'd love to see Thursday do something. I know not metal related, but metal adjacent, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, okay,
Yeah,
nice.
last
Yeah, I've never really delved into them, but I know the name.
yeah.
But that's about it.
Yeah, their music isn't heavy, but seeing them live, the heaviness comes out a little bit and it's more of a emotional, energetic, just fun show. So I would recommend, even if you're not a fan of music, if they're near your town, go see them. Um, then lastly, we have an album and a shout out to Thunraz with their
Hell
new
yeah, man.
album, Incineration Day.
Yeah, dude, I really enjoyed this album, man. I like, for starters, the artwork really interests me. I don't know, it's definitely just got some cool elements to it. But the song "Incinerator" is probably my favorite, and I think that's one of the singles that they released up to this, for this release. But something about that riff, man, it just gets freaking stuck in my head.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I felt like I listened to this, but that riff like just stayed in my brain all day long. But front to back, man, I felt this was really easy to listen all the way through. Um, you definitely got a lot of cool elements going on here. The dude on vocals likes to play around. He does some, like, the high screams really gave me Celtic Frost, or not Celtic Frost. I guess it would technically be what's Tom Gabe's Fisher's newer project?
Triptychon.
What do I? Yeah, Tripcon. I don't know why I feel like always that name always slips me, but I feel like the high screams are definitely exactly what they're doing in that band. I don't know if that's Tom Fisher or not, but it's at least a dude in that band. But the screams are definitely like that, and then he's got like the deeper growls that he's doing in this, and then like this kind of melodic, low singing that just kind of randomly appears in parts. But I think it makes for an interesting sound, man. It has like this overwhelming, like dreary, constant feel to it, you
Mm-hmm.
know. But yeah, really cool listen, dude. What'd you think of it?
I thought the same. And you took the single I was going to talk about, and that was Incinerator. As soon as the riff starts, like, okay, I feel like this is going to be a song I'm going to like. And yep, it's a great riff, and it's something that will stick with you. Um,
Yeah,
and
yeah, man. Like, another song that I really liked was Tyrant. And that starts off the album, and I like how they just get right into it. They take no time to, slowly, or build up to anything, which, I don't mind intros either, but I just really liked how this album kicked off too. So that's another solid song as well. But yeah, I
yeah, and
also really like the names, like Fragile Automata, or Automata. How do you say that? Am I pronouncing that right?
Automata. I don't
Yeah,
know. Is it automata or is it
Automata.
automata?
We're
That
probably
sounds
looking
better.
really dumb right now. Yeah.
That how you just said it sounded better. I also like the ending track, especially for its name, Spiritual Self Surgery. That's a
Yeah. That is
Whoever
pretty
chose that
sweet.
name, good job.
Yeah. That is pretty sweet. Yeah, man, check it out. Thunraz. That is the album Incineration Day. Pretty sweet.
Yeah. Other than that, that's all of our new releases we have on our playlist. Any other new
JJ.
music you got?
Oh, let me see here, man. I'm still kind of rotating that Opeth album. I think it's really solid. The Last Will and Testament. Has that one grown on you at all recently? No?
I did listen to it all the way through again, and nothing changed. However,
Okay.
I decided to look up the lyrics because I saw someone had posted uh, a rough sketch of the concept, and I remember that was something we had talked about. To where if I figure out the concept, I'll probably like it. And he didn't really go into details, but once he said, "It's like, okay, this is making sense." And it was that the whole album is supposed to be them reading the patriarch of that family, because that whole picture is supposed to be a giant family. The father died, the patriarch, so this is them reading his last will and testament, where a lot of his secrets are kind of coming out and stuff like that. And that's what it's supposed to be.
Interesting.
So, and that's why that line, the last will and testament of father, that's what that's all
Okay.
about. So with that, I started reading the lyrics, like, okay, some of this is actually kind of cool. So then I
So
started listening to
so it
about,
is ghostly. It's like literally ghost, Like
yeah,
that's crazy. Like they capture that vibe so damn well. It baffles me, man.
yeah. And it's I've only gotten to, since looking at the lyrics, I think I've read up to paragraph, I think it's paragraph 3 of lyrics. And I think I've, after reading lyrics, listening through, I think I'm back on paragraph. It just finished paragraph 2, and I'm enjoying it more now that I actually know what the hell's going on. Because I think me not knowing anything of what's going on, it was just like,
Mhm.
it's okay. But as soon as, like, once you have the groundwork, it's like, okay, this is actually kind of fun. Let's go through this kind of thing. So,
Huh.
um, I think once I go through all the lyrics, I'm gonna love it even more. I'm already liking it a little bit more now once I've gotten to the lyrics.
Hell yeah, dude. That's awesome. That gets me pumped. I'm gonna have to check them out because yeah, dude, like I said, like I hear that song and I just get the ghost vibes. And it's wild that it's literally about that. But because like even on the second run of the first lyrics, what is it? Draped in death. Um,
Howl and
the howl. Oh my gosh. I'm totally jacking this up. Draped in death, the howl of lore, right?
yeah,
Draped in death, the howl of lore. But like the second run of it, he doesn't do the screams or the follow-ups like spoken word, but it's like this ghostly call. It's like draped in death, the howl of lore, and it's like ooh spooky. I don't know. I love it. I'm a sucker for it. But yeah, cool as hell. I'm definitely loving that one, man. Other than that, dude, I haven't really haven't been jamming anything else too new.
I gotcha. Now I need to remember what I haven't really been checking out much stuff. This morning, once you sent me those messages, I was working out, so I went through Thunraz, and that was about it. Uh, I don't know. I feel I listen to music all the way home, and I don't typically do that. I usually have a playlist. Oh, began going through a lot of better lovers, and every time I die, obviously for today's episode.
Hell yeah.
Oh, and Cytotoxin.
Oh,
So listen to Cytotoxin this morning.
nice. Yeah,
God, I love Cyto. And
they're so good.
oh
I'm
yeah,
still anxiously awaiting their next single because you know it's coming someday.
hopefully. And I love. I guess looking at the artwork for Hope Terminator, it just gives you that little chills a little bit more, because I guess it looks like it's the ruins of Chernobyl, and that's the reactor, but it's still burning. It's like, ah, yes.
Ah, hell yeah, dude. That's awesome. Yeah, I watched a live set video. It was like a couple days around the Kansas show when they were touring the States. Yeah, still sad. I missed that one, but I watched a live video of Hope Terminator, dude, and they fucking nailed it. Four-piece band, nailed it. And again, I think they're touring without a bassist. So I don't know why that gets so common with metal bands. I mean, I don't know. I also get the other side of it. Like it's hard enough to get five people in one place at one time, but come on, dude. You all got to show up.
At the same time, no offense to any bassist listening out there, but I feel like that is the one member that's perfectly okay. Like, why is it always the bassist who somehow gets left behind, their visas not working? Like if the singer's visa is not letting them in, is like, I guess the tour's canceled. Drummer, same thing.
Yeah, no, the bassist, they're just like, I think we could do it.
And we got a track for you.
Yeah. They're just like, oh, fuck.
It's all right. We left enough food and water for you at the house. Someone will let you out
Yeah.
daily.
Well, and I actually, you know what? That brings up a good point, though. I noticed on the Zenith Passages tour, most recent tour, Derek Derdquist, or no, that can't be his name. What, Ridequist?
Oh yeah,
Ridequist?
that sounds right.
Yeah, Demon Carcass. That's his nickname. But he wasn't able to make a majority of the tour. So they had the dude from, well, former Black Crown Initiate, long hair, wavy curl guy, now supposedly in the Faceless, but they have yet to drop anything with his addition. But anyways, they acquired him for like half the tour, and then the second half was another bald-headed dude, vocalist. I don't know what band he was in though. Sorry, but I don't remember his name. But that's some complex fucking vocals to fill. So
Yeah.
but I don't know if that was job duties getting in the way. Maybe he couldn't afford the time off of main job. But I don't know. I feel like Zenith Passage with the last album, Data Elysium, is kind of, they should be in that breakout moment where I feel like that's probably their main job now. Wouldn't you think? I mean, that album was huge when it dropped.
It's all dependent because it's hard to tell who's actually doing successful money wise. I feel like when it comes to bands,
Yeah, that's
because
true.
I think I've even heard Cannibal Corpse talk about how they have to still have part-time jobs when they get home because their band isn't making enough money for them to actually live off of.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
Damn. I would think that they had it made.
But at the same time, someone brought up is like it's also depending on where they're living and how much they're actually spending on their personal lives, kind of thing. Because you also got to
Are
think,
they in like $500,000 homes and shit, or
I don't know. I know they live in Florida now. They used to live in New York, but also you got to think these guys are a lot older, and I'm pretty sure all of them have families and kids that they have to support, kind of thing. So if you're
Right.
young and you're not tied down at all, I can understand. You don't really have to have a job. Your band is your job, kind of thing. But if you're
Yeah,
older,
just living on the road.
mhm.
Yeah. Right, true. Yeah, well, shit, I think I was gonna say something. Kind of got a little sidetracked. Touring. Talking about cytotoxin. I don't know. Another new tour announcement dropped like
Which one?
yesterday. Chelsea Grin. Did you see this one?
I did with Shadow of Intent, Signs of the Swarm, and
Signs of the Swarm?
Disembodied Tyrant.
Yeah, dude. Talk about a fucking lineup.
Yeah.
Like we were just talking about that band, Disembodied Tyrant again. But yeah, that would be an incredible show to see. However, I feel like they're not coming anywhere around here.
No, I think it almost seems also like they're purposely skipping us because they go from Chicago to Denver.
Yeah, we're right in the mid zone.
And then from Texas to Georgia. And that's the only
What the
time.
hell?
Yeah.
Jeez, come on, assholes, stop by.
Yeah.
I would think that would easily sell out the Blue Note in Columbia.
Well, especially since you have to drive through us to get to Denver. What are you doing?
Yeah, easy money, dude. I wonder how many days off they get in between that break.
I think the Chicago and Denver one, it's 2 days. So they could, I mean, maybe stop by Kansas City.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah. Damn. Yeah, that's going to be a hell of a show, though, for sure.
Yeah. I also have some tours. One's more of an update, and the other is very, very big, exciting news. The first one, my brother texted me, and he's very excited. So we are all for sure going to Meshuggah, Cannibal Corpse, and Carcass. We are definitely going.
Nice.
So I'm
Hell
going to buy
yeah.
tickets soon. I think you should as well. So we can go
Yes, I will.
and we
Next-
got to make sure we go. I already talked to
Absolutely, yeah.
Danny. She's tracking.
All right. It's official. I'll take that Thursday off too. So I'm
I
gonna
might
fucking party.
I might take Wednesday and Thursday off because my thinking is since you're in Nelden, he's in Jeff City, and I'm all the way down here. I'm thinking there's no way I'm gonna have everyone drive 3 vehicles, so I might as well just go up, pick you guys up, go to St. Louis, and then come back and drop you guys off.
Okay. All right. Damn. So you're volunteering yourself for the trek, huh?
It's just one of those things that I feel like that's the best way because how else are we all three gonna get there, kind of thing? Like, are we all three
Yeah,
gonna drive
true.
separate vehicles?
Yeah, that'd be boring as shit because then we wouldn't even be able to talk about the show after.
Yeah, that's like the best part, and also the build up.
Right. Yeah, no doubt. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just remembered a big ass tour announcement. Maybe we're kind of thinking of the same one.
Possibly.
The Infinite Arc tour.
Oh, I forgot about that one. Yeah, that did get announced. That's also coming.
Periphery,
Yes.
Mastodon,
And
and Coheed and
Coheed.
Cambria.
So, okay. I saw that and then I looked at the tour at where they were stopping.
Yeah, I
Is
think they're
your
dodging.
They are dodging. However, I'm both very proud but super surprised. Do you see the places they're playing though? They're playing arenas,
Oh, are they really?
like stadiums.
Wow. Oh shit.
So
Damn. Stadium
Periphery, Coheed, and Mastodon are somehow pulling that off. Congrats, guys. That is
Yeah, that's
awesome.
That's amazing. I hope they sell it out, dude. I really do. That would be absolutely stellar to see Periphery in a stadium, dude. I cannot imagine what that sounds like.
Oh yeah.
And even Mastodon. Holy shit.
Yeah,
That
they
would
have
be
a big
absolutely awesome.
sound, a big arena like that. That would be great.
Yeah. Coheed, I gotta say, I have seen Coheed in the stadium, so I'm kind of not surprised on that one. That was years ago when Slipknot toured with Coheed and Trivium. Another weird lineup, but
Yeah, I know. I remember
oddly
that one.
worked.
I wanted to go to that
Yeah.
one so bad, but it was a weird lineup.
Yeah. Super weird, but cool show. But yeah.
How was Coheed?
They were good, man. But I gotta say, they did not play any songs that I would have expected them to play.
Really?
I think the one that I recognized was Welcome Home.
Yeah. I would hope
And
they
that
would play
was
that.
it. Yeah.
Did
But that wasn't even their last one.
they play anything from the album after that? Because I got really into that one. The like
It was like super old stuff.
oh, so like do they play Favorite House Atlantic, the Good Eyes Sniper?
Nope.
Really?
Yeah, no. It was it was a very like almost seemed like a heavy set, but I mean, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Shit, dude, that was like years ago too. I want to say I was like 18 probably.
Hmm.
But I don't know. It was a cool show.
I gotcha. I would like to see them. I mean, I'm not
Yeah.
super into them. Like, I know they have a lot of like super fans who know about the whole like story arc that's going on in all the albums. I have
Yeah.
no idea what's going on in any of that. I just like some of the songs and some of the
Yeah,
guitars stuff.
Same here. I haven't really gotten to the content either, but I'll listen to them for sure.
Yeah. But the big tour I'm talking about, I already texted Danny. She got super excited. We've already been talking about buying these tickets. The world needs to look out because the new tour that's coming next summer is the only Jesus's favorite band, Creed, is coming to a
Oh,
place near you. He's coming
shit.
they're coming to Branson.
Are you serious?
Yes. They're playing at the Thunder Ridge at
Wow.
at the Bass Pro venue.
Oh, hell yeah. Can you take me higher? Wow. That's awesome.
And Branson's just going to take them with arms wide open. They're just going to come in there and
Yeah.
other Creed song titles.
Hell
I
yeah.
can't think of any more.
Yeah. Higher. 6 feet from the edge. What's that one called? 6 feet or something? Or
Oh, I think that it is called 6 feet. Is it just called 6 feet from the edge?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Not sure. Memorable though.
Yeah.
Did you see who else is coming to Thunder Ridge Arena next May?
Is that the Jelly Roll and Post Malone?
Yeah.
I've been debating
Yeah, that
on.
one kind of surprised me.
I don't like Jelly Roll, but I wouldn't mind seeing Post Malone. I think that
I'd
would
see
be
them both
cool.
just to say I seen them. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're both pretty entertaining at this point. I mean, shit, Jelly Roll's like worldwide famous, so
Then there's also that one, again, not metal related. There's that weird, like rock country, like bro country concert going on in Poplar Bluff, Missouri. Have you seen this?
uh-uh.
It's like Nickelback, Kid Rock, Hank Williams Jr.,
What?
Ying Yang Twins is also on it.
What?
What I
Oh
forget
my
what it's called.
gosh.
It's like a 2-day
Wow.
concert in Poplar Bluff. It's like a tour that's going on.
That's wild. I did not see that. That's hilarious.
Yeah, I want to say, yeah, it's a bunch of country people kind of like that, and then like rock like that. And you're just going to like weird towns like Poplar Bluff. They're also going to, I
Yeah,
think,
what the hell?
Rogers, Arkansas, which Rogers isn't too far from here. That's where I went and saw the emo concert.
Huh. Just small ass towns, huh?
Yeah. I think Rogers is a little bit bigger. Poplar Bluff is not big though. That is like Boot Heel, Missouri.
Wow. Damn, that's gonna be a shit show.
Yeah.
Bring your shit kickers.
Bring in your dip.
Yeah. I'm gonna need 2 cans for that one. Alrighty.
All right.
Well,
Do you have any metal news?
Metal news.
no, I don't think I do. I think we recapped most of it last week.
Oh,
Um,
slight metal news. Benighted has just announced that they
yeah.
have fired their drummer.
Yeah, Kevin Paradis,
Mm-hmm.
because he auditioned for Archspire. They fired him over an audition tape.
Really?
Yes, yeah, bold move. So like their statement says that there's no hard feelings. Oh, we love Kevin, but it was literally like due to we can't afford to, I don't know. You know what? Before I fuck it up, I'm gonna just read it.
I just saw a quick headline that said musical over music ambitions. So that would, I guess, make sense.
Yeah, well, I guess he did a stint with Ne Obliscari or something like that. And I've never really listened to them, but uh, I don't know if he like played on an album for them or toured with them or what exactly that involvement was. But whatever. Kevin Paradis, in my opinion, like is kind of a huge element of Benighted. Like Benighted's a good band, but like I don't know that I can really recite any of their songs. Like when I listen to them, I'm like hell yeah, badass. But I don't know the titles. I don't, they just don't really stick with me. Nothing against them. Like I said, they're intense as hell. Like they're kind of, along the lines of like Aborted, but almost even more extreme in their own
Mm-hmm.
way. But anyways, here's the statement. Benighted is looking for a new drummer. After 7 years playing together, we always knew that Kevin and the rest of the band had different ambitions in music. After his recent experience with Ne Obliscari and his applying for Archspire, it appeared that it was too difficult for Benighted to have a drummer that might leave for other opportunities in a short notice. We are now searching for a new full-time drummer who's at the same time fast, tight, and of course fully available to open the new chapter of Benighted history. Contact us here, their email. of course, there's no bad blood between us and Kevin. There's no bad blood between us, and Kevin will ensure all the upcoming gigs while we look for a new drummer. We wish our Kevin all the best for the future. We really want to thank him for everything he brought to Benighted during this amazing time. We love you, man. To all bands who might be interested in playing with this incredible drummer, please contact him. His email. Thank you all for your support. So it's kind of weird. It's, kind of seems like they fired him, but
Yeah.
they're trying to be nice about it, but it's almost like digging at him too. Like, I don't know.
So they're worried that he's going to up and leave them at any point. So to mitigate that, they're kicking him out now.
Yeah. I guess to prepare. So yeah.
They couldn't
I
have
don't
had
know,
him
man.
had him in the band and prepare.
I guess it says that he will ensure all upcoming gigs while we look for a new drummer. I don't know if that's them saying like he's going to fulfill his duties, or I don't know if that was even agreed upon in his behalf, but I
I'm
have a
almost-
feeling it's already lined out for him to join Archspire.
That's what I'm
And, like,
thinking,
they
and
know
maybe they can't officially say it out loud, so they're just saying it this way. I don't
Yeah.
know.
It's kind of weird. It's one of those things like when your boss wants to fire you, but you quit. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Like I said, I think Kevin Paradis is going to have no problems at all joining an elite metal band because that dude is elite as fuck with
Mhm.
metal, everything metal. So, and his audition tapes have been probably the best that I've seen for all the Archspire auditions. And who else can play that fucking music, dude? Like, it's Archspire. Are you kidding me? Their goal is to be faster and faster and faster every single record, which I don't know if they can continue fulfilling that like realistically, but whatever. I think it'd be cool to hear a slower Archspire. Like sidewind us, Give us a fucking down tempo album, dude.
Give us
That'd
a
be
ballad.
badass. Yeah. But no, so like Kevin, I noticed Sean sent this to me on Instagram. He's already responded with his own video, and it's basically like him dubbing over Dwight leaving the office to go pursue his new job with other people like Staples and shit, but like he tags like Archspire's logo in there and shit like that. It's great, dude. I'll just send it to you. So Kevin's taking it great, and he's responding very well. But yeah, man, I don't think he's gonna have any issues. But yeah,
No.
definitely some metal news to highlight.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the only news I could think of. But yeah. Is there any other metal news that you've seen?
No, I don't think so, man. I think that's pretty much it.
Roger. All right. Do we want to move on to the topic we've been somewhat thinking about talking about?
Sure.
Sent you earlier. So this whole conversation is kind of stemming from a meme I saw. This is from the Pig Squeals and Breakdowns Facebook group. And someone posted it was the Change My Mind booth. And on the Change My Mind booth, it said the following: crowd killing is non consensual and no better than grabbing stage divers' dicks or boobs. Change my mind.
A lot to break down here. First off,
I have a lot I want to argue with that.
who is going for a dick grab on a crowd surfer? I'm just saying, like, I probably wouldn't mind to be groped if I'm crowd surfing every now and then, but I feel like people are just trying to get me the fuck out of there.
All I think of is that one video of you just gotta grab him by the dick and twist. It just,
Yeah.
but
yeah.
first off, just the trying to compare like crowd killing. So just saying that so first let's break it down. I want to break it down this way. Saying assault is the exact same as sexual assault. No. That's why we have the two words. Like if someone like assaulted your friend, you're like, "Oh, fuck. Are you okay?" Someone sexually assaulted your friend, you have even more visceral reaction. So obviously they're not the same
Sure.
already. But that's if you want to say crowd killing is assault. But either way, crowd killing, in my opinion, it has its place. I have my view to where if I'm at a concert and I'm in the moshing area, I want some danger. That's what excites me. That's what the very first metal concert I went to, that's what it was. It was, there was these two guys, I think I've talked about before. They stood back to back, they hooked their arms together, and they would take turns, one leaning forward and the other one kicking his feet up and then doing bicycle kicks. And they would go into the crust of the mosh pit, kicking people in the face, just doing it back and forth or kicking people.
What a couple assholes. That's great. That's genius.
Someone was doing moshing. The guy I was with, he grabbed him, just like, "Hey man, calm down." He but he pulled out and then started punching my buddy in the face. He then tried to crowd surf, and when he was crowd surfing, he looked behind and saw my buddy was right next to me, so he started kicking him in the face.
Oh, jeez, damn.
Like, that's what I understand. Like, yes, that guy was in the wrong. He got kicked out.
Hey man,
My
calm down. Fuck you.
I mean, technically, that's where I draw the line. Is like, if you were targeting someone, yeah, that's crossing the line. But at a mosh pit, when we all
Can't
know
make
where this
yourself
is
a
at.
target.
Well,
Yeah.
also, we know where this does it. We're not at a concert right now. We all know where the designated mosh spot, the danger zone, is. It's center, close to the front. We all know
Yeah.
this is, if you are in this spot, you are at risk for moshing to all of a sudden happen, someone to potentially kick you or punch you, a crowd. Because if we're going to start saying that crowd killing is assault, then what's to say that someone bumping into you at really hardly at a moshing is an assault? Or even more annoyingly, a crowd surfer falling on you when you weren't expecting it. Where are we drawing the line? We should
Yeah.
expect some danger.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, you got to know where you're at. And I mean, all that is going to birth is people bringing protest signs to mosh pits.
Mm-hmm.
Violence is not the answer. And again, that dude would just make himself a target. I mean, if it's the right band playing, they'd be like, "Fuck that guy," beat the shit out of him. But yeah, man, I have to say, I think the most dangerous spot is absolutely center crust of the mosh circle, but you're facing the stage. Like you're gambling. Like if you know that you're lining that circle and you're just like moshing, like like you're not watching. Like everyone, I think behind that point in the circle, they're all like kind of facing the circle now. And they like kind of got their arms up, they're bracing themselves, ready for the circle pit to come around, and they're like pushing, doing the push off moves when the circle pit gets going. But that dude in the front that's just facing the stage, man, living life on the edge. Absolutely. That would
Yeah.
just suck to get just like you're just sitting there jamming. Fuck yeah, man. They just sidewinded, like, oh.
But that's the
brutal.
thing. Shit happens. Like,
it does.
I've gotten my nose broken from a concert. I've got my tooth chipped at a concert. I had some random girl punch me right between the eyes. I still don't know what happened at I Declare War. Like, it's.
I love when everyone turns into a Care Bear, though, when someone falls in the pit.
Oh, yeah.
They're like, oh, stop. And then they get them up, and it's like, okay, back to chaos.
Yeah. But that's the thing. I feel like, because Acacia Strain talks about, like, this is where we're all angry. We all have anxieties that we have to deal, or depressed, that we all deal with. When you were there, you were supposed to let all that out.
For sure.
If we get rid of that, that's going to... I know it's a dumb to argue as a slippery slope, but I don't really see any difference between getting rid of the crowd killing, then you get rid of the moshing, get rid of the crowd surfing. Then we're just standing there, and it's no longer
shit.
Yeah, it's no longer a concert.
Might as well
we're at a show.
Yeah, might as well let security tell you no moshing.
Yeah,
and how would that feel? That would just make you want to mosh more.
Yeah, and also I'm even more disappointed that this is in the Pig Squeals and Breakdowns group, which from what I understand, it seems to be like the old school, like MySpace deathcore type of crowd, which we should all know, like those were even worse. We all cut our teeth
Yeah.
on those super violent shows. Like, so why are we all of a sudden acting like it's it's a new thing or that it's bad? We know.
Well, like one thing, I can't help but to observe the karate kickers and the windmillers that get in there. And when they're kind of like the first two to break open the mosh pit, you know? But then, like, you'll notice, like, if you watch them hard enough, like, I'm just a people watcher, you know, I just kind of get it from the job we used to have. And so, but like, there's a difference between the guys that really don't give a fuck and the guys that like just start doing it, but then they get close to people and they kind of dodge intentionally and start kicking and punching the other way. I don't know. I don't really respect that, but like the guys that just go full fucking bore blast and
Don't
don't
care
give a
where
shit,
it's going.
I kind of love that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that. But like the guys that kind of bitch out and die down when they get close to somebody, I'm like, come on, man.
That's
Quit
what
fucking acting
that.
then.
Yeah,
You know?
that's probably just like an intention. Like I try to. That's what that seems like. That more is you're not really trying to like let out some stuff. You're not getting super into things. You're just literally
You just want to look dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, it's funny, man. Good times though.
Yeah.
It's been a while. It's been a while since I've been in a pit. I think the most hurt I ever got was a Lamb of God mosh pit. I think it was the Sacrament Tour show that I went to, and it was shoulder to shoulder, so much to where like I could lift my feet up and still be. It was like I was levitating because like the place was so packed. I could just like rely on the shoulder to shoulder, like pushing together to just hold me in place and hold me up. But I got really close to the barricade at one point, and crowd surfers like Casey, my sister, she's like smaller than me, and so like we're kind of grabbing onto the barricade to like protect ourselves, but like we had crowd surfers coming over, and like one was like had pinned her down, I think, and so like I kind of braced myself around her at this point, but then like the same shit happened to me, and like my head got pinned on a crowd surfer in the barricade, and I was like, ah! It was like a moment I really felt like my head was gonna snap off, dude. Like, got really sketchy for a minute, but yeah. It was cool. I think one of the funniest moments is I lost a shoe in a mosh pit and kind of crowd surfed my way out over a barricade. I don't even remember what show it was, sadly. But I just remember like the security getting me down and they're like kind of directing, you know, all right, go that way, go back around. And I'm like, I go to step and I'm like, oh fuck, I got one shoe. I was like, I got one shoe. And so like I'm running back and it looks like I'm trying to get on stage and security's like, no, fuck, you go back. I was like, my shoe, I don't have a shoe. And then I just see a hand and it was like a beam of light cast down on this hand, dude. And it's just a random hand holding my fucking shoe. I was like, there's my shoe. And security's just like looked at my foot and looked at the shoe. He's like, all right, you're good. And like, go get your shoe. And so like I just run to get my shoe really quick. I was like, man, I got so fucking lucky. Oh, that would have sucked to go through a whole show with one shoe, you know. Oh, that would have been the worst.
But it would have been
Knowing
the
how much
perfect opportunity to get on stage.
Yeah, it would have. It would have, man. I don't think the one band I've been on stage with was a band that brought the whole crowd on stage, which I believe was with you. And
Yeah.
the band we're talking about tonight, Every Time I Die. That was an epic, amazing moment, man.
Oh yeah.
Cool as hell.
Yeah. Fun times.
For sure.
But yeah, I was even so with this discussion, I was even thinking of like when listening to No Cure was when I saw that. And it was like at a No Cure concert, it's so the whole crowd killing stuff, I don't expect at every concert. I'm not going to go to a ghost show and expect to see crowd killing. But at bands like No Cure, I would guarantee there would be crowd killing. I would be perfectly fine with it.
Absolutely.
Because in my opinion, it has to match the vibe and the energy that the band's giving. In my opinion, those equal the best shows. Because if the crowd is giving you as much energy as the band's giving you, it's awesome. Other bands, I think Acacia Strain would probably be benefit too with some crowd killing. I'm just saying. And I understand if you don't want to get involved in that, but you have to understand where that danger zone is. It's not everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no doubt, man. I mean, and bottom line, if you don't want to be involved, don't be involved. Move out. You know, that's the beauty of it, and that's always the option. It's not like the mosh pit's taking up the whole damn thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it is. I guess if Slaughter to Prevail's on at whatever festival that was where they did the world's largest wall of death, but you know, whatever.
Yeah. I mean, either way,
Kind of
the
fitting.
sides are always going to be safe and the back
Yeah.
is always going to be safe. But
Mhm.
center middle, no, we know what
Dead zone.
happens. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's about all I have on that topic. It just got me irked and I wanted to see your opinion on it.
Yeah, I didn't. I seen the meme earlier. I didn't realize, like, now that I think about it, it's probably a troll. That seems like it's absolutely made
No, there were
to
the
get
comments section
clicks.
was back and forth of different people with different views.
Huh. That's wild.
There were people saying that they're glad to see when people knock the crowd killer shit out and then or stuff like that, or just stupid bullshit and stuff like that. But then there's other people's like, hey, if you show up to the show and you ain't got hands, maybe you shouldn't have gone.
Yeah, I agree with that, man. If I enter a mosh pit, I'm not expecting a monitor. You know, I'm not expecting some filter guy to manage everything that's going on. Like, we're not doing any of that. You're just gonna run and push. That's all we're doing here. Okay. You know, run and push. That's all you can do. Fuck that. You know, that a mosh pit is a no management zone. It is like it's called a mosh pit for a reason, dude. It's fucking chaos. If you don't want it, don't be in it. Bottom line.
And also let's even in mosh pits, fights break out in those too. And in all honesty, those are I don't want to be involved in it, but it's fun it gets the place going.
Yeah, it does. Absolutely. Couple people get kicked out, fucking gets the energy pumped. It's like, fuck yeah, did you see that? Hell yeah, man. It's awesome. Good times. And then apparently, like, if cattle decap, like someone got stabbed. You remember that? A few
Someone
years
got
back? That was crazy.
Didn't they get stabbed in the neck?
Oh my god. I don't know. That's nuts there.
Because
It had to have been an altercation. Surely that's just not a mosher.
Surely it's not. Yeah, just he's doing the windmill with one knife in his hand.
Yeah. Okay, I guess that's where I draw the line. You know, no knives in the mosh pit, but
yeah. Anything else you want to talk about, or you want to get on to Every Time I Die?
Yeah, let's do it, man.
Hell yes. So I
bet you've been waiting for this one.
Absolutely. So this, if everyone can tell, people listening, Every Time I Die is one of my favorite bands of all time. They are a band I grew up with, and I was thinking about today. I think it's been 17 or 18 years of listening to them. This is a band I loved for a long time. They have been, I think they were my artist of the decade when they did that for Spotify Wrapped one year. But yes, and even looking at this and going through everything, I realized that there's some stages of Every Time I Die, and I'll bring that up as we go. I've seen them about 4 times, and they've never disappointed. But I mean, let's just get right on into it. Right on Up is their very debut, Last Night in Town. This came out in, I want to say, 2001. This is a very raw album. So the band is very influenced by two bands. It's influenced by Dead Guy, the very like southern mathcore-ish kind of stuff, and like metalcore stuff. If you listen to some Dead Guy, you'll see it's very much this first album. And another big band for this band is the Dillinger Escape Plan. I remember watching a guitar lesson from Jordan Buckley when teaching someone this riff from this album, and he brought up like the exact chords that they're using in this. He ripped off from the Dillinger Escape Plan because he loved that album that was out at that time so much that he put it in this band. But yeah, Last Night in
Nice.
Town is a very rough album. It's 2001. It's a band still trying to find themselves. There's still some cool parts. It opens up with Emergency Broadcast System. Another cool highlight is Here's Looking at You. Then there's Punch Drunk Punk Rock Romance featuring, at the time, he wasn't in this other band. At the time, I think he was in a Blood One Shed, but that is Howard Jones of Killswitch Engage
Oh
fame.
shit. Okay.
And then
Nice.
the banger Logic of Crocodiles. Fun song, ridiculous lyrics, but fun song. Very American Psycho-esque vibes. Yeah. I'm probably gonna give this though I'm gonna give this one a 5. It's not terrible, but for Every Time I Die standards, I'm gonna give this a 5. Have you checked this one out?
Yeah, I listened to this one. I started off with this one because I'd never listened to it before. So I wanted to make sure that I hit everything I listened to, or hit everything in their disc. Oh my gosh, hit everything in their discography that I hadn't listened to before. And this one was one of them. And so I figured, why not start off from the get-go? So not bad, man, but it's just definitely full blast that fucking typical Every Time I Die energy. And I mean, this is that high energy in a can, like just throughout, balls to the wall, man. So no real like traditional choruses or anything in here that like really stuck with me, or I feel like you really get to grow to grasp. But it's a cool album. It was a fun listen, man. Like I said, full chaos, but probably not one of my favorites. But I think I would probably give this one a 5. That'd probably be that.
Okay. All right. And this is an album that it seems everyone in the Every Time I Die's fans, and then even the band themselves, kind of admit that it's not really something they really bring up a lot. I've seen them 4 times. I have never seen them play any songs from this ever. The only time I've heard of them playing any songs is when they would do those holiday shows to their hometown, and they would maybe sprinkle in Emergency Broadcast System or Logic. But other than that, you never hear anything from this album ever again, pretty much. So, but moving forward, in 2003, I want to say, came a very big album that kind of put them more on the map for people, and that is 2003's Hot Damn. This, I love this. So pretty much after the first album, I could almost give all their albums 10s at this point. So I'm going to try to
Okay.
temper my expectations, but this is a big one. This one came at a time when they were still very young, very hungry. The lead singer was still in college at the time and was also taking multiple literature classes. So that's why you see a lot of like classical literature references in this album, like "Oh Captain, My Captain." There's a bunch. I'm trying to remember some of them, but I know it's sprinkled throughout the Midsummer Night's Dream is mentioned, stuff like that. A lot of Shakespeare, Walt Whitman, and stuff like that is mentioned throughout this album because of that stuff. But something about Every Time I Die is they always add a little bit of, I wouldn't say cheesiness, but it's more of like sleaziness, like a little bit of, like it's supposed to sound like epic and thought provoking, but really what he's talking about is partying, trying to add some like other element, but really he's only talking about partying. Like Ebola Rama is how I take it, is literally just about going to a bar to go have sex. But the lyrics are boys shoot to thrill from the hip. It's time we put the act in action. We'll trick the pigs into thinking that's it. This auction is a pageant.
Nice. That's some awesome writing.
Yeah, it's so again, it's a great album. So like for me, top tracks is obviously Ebola Rama, Floater, very depressing, but again, adding that, like trying to add an element into something that, like, it's about a guy who's suicidal and jumps off a bridge, but tries to make it sound poetic. At least that's how I'm getting from it, and that's Floater. She's My Rushmore about a crazy stalker. Romeo a Go Go. It's a great album. I'm gonna give this one probably a 9. This also is what kind of got them more attention and got them even on Ozfest. So
Oh
this is
shit.
going to be
Okay.
a 9 for me. What did you think of this
Nice.
one?
I liked it. I thought it was a step above, the previous one. I don't know that it was quite there for me, but it was still pretty good. And at least better. But Romeo Go-Go stood out for sure. Um, and then obviously Ebola-Rama. I feel like that one's so memorable. Is that the one with the skate rink
Mm-hmm.
music video?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it turns
Okay.
into a mosh pit.
Yeah, dude. Hell yeah, that one's awesome. But yeah, again, like his writing, man, it's great. Like, and I love the titles. I feel like he's so clever with that shit. Like, um, pornography. Like, it's so good. I don't know. But yeah, good album, man. But I'd probably give this one a 6.5.
Okay. So we got this at a 15.5. All right. Now up next is I would say so this was all like this was like their pre-building up who they were because the first album was just I feel like just kind of getting an album out there. This one they were more Hot Damn was they were more finding themselves. This next album they're kind of entering their what I would call their warped tour phase. They've been through on warped tour almost all their career, but this one when I say this because I can't think of it any other words, this is when they were very popular in the scene with bands
Mhm.
like Under Oath, um, other bands like Under Oath that were at the big at that time. But you, the scene, not like not like the death metal scene, but like when you think of like emo kids and scene kids, that's what I'm talking about. And they were very big at that time, especially among those people.
For
Uh,
sure.
but with their 2005 album Gutter Phenomenon, that they're also start taking shots at the music industry itself and rock music as a whole, which is what the Gutter Phenomenon title is supposed to be a reference to, especially even the song The New Black. It's supposed to be
Okay.
a reference to like pink is the new black. Well, punk rock is the new black. It's just become everywhere. It doesn't have any meaning anymore. That's what Kill the
Huh.
Music is about. Another thing about Every Time I Die, um, they have such a huge following, even amongst other bands themselves, because um, they make friends really good with other bands so well that they're able to somehow, even when those bands get big, they still come back. Like on this album, came out in 2005, they still got Gerard Way from My Chemical Romance to play on Kill the Music, and
Oh
which is
wow.
about again calling out the fakeness and cheesiness that's in music nowadays, like using stage names with reference with I Know the Stripper's Real Name and Kill the Music.
Oh, okay.
Um, Other songs on this album that I love: New Black, Guitared and Feathered, Gloom and How It Gets That Way with this awesome riff. Then also ending with Pretty Dirty, highly underrated. Never got to see it live, but it's so great. Um, but yeah, I love this album. This is what got me into them. I'm probably gonna give this a 9.5. What did you
Oh
think of
yeah.
this one?
I love this album, man. This is whenever I start loving Every Time I Die. I love the album art, like, and that's one thing with this band is like their album art is just so damn like eye appealing to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that isn't it a guitarist that does most of the album artwork or
Oh,
starts
Jordan
to?
Buckley. He
Yeah.
starts. I don't know when he starts, but yeah, I know there's one specifically that is very much his artwork. He might have done this one too. I'm not sure.
Okay. But anyways, it's yeah, dude. This is like the sound like they kind of adapt the choruses and kind of songwriting general songwriting stuff that I feel like is pretty standard. But New Black obviously was a huge hit on this one. I think it even got into a video game like Guitar Hero or Rock Band or
Mm-hmm.
some shit. But great song, man. Like so damn catchy. Sick riff. Um, Yeah, I love this. I love this album. It's a really good one, but I'd probably give this one an 8.
Okay. Oop. 17.5. All right. Up next, 2007's The Big Dirty. This is an album where they started to try some experimentation. So the band I say weird, but it's something that I love about this band. Cool dynamic between the musicians. So at this point, it's Novak at drums, then Andy Williams and Jordan Buckley at guitars, and Keith Buckley as a singer, the brother. The bass, at this point, they have a revolving door of bassists. They can't seem to keep bassist to the point where there's this joke song by Bomb the Music Industry with a song called Congratulations, John, on joining Every Time I Die, because they just had such a revolving door of people just joining the band as a bassist. But this is, I bring this up because Andy and Jordan have very different styles, where Andy's kind of more of a classic rock style, where Jordan's very much a hardcore punk and mathy kind of stuff, and they meld together very well. This one, they kind of do a little bit more experimentation with those things, and it's very noticeable in this album. It's very experimental a little bit. It's not as fast paced as we're kind of used to, like on Hot Damn, Gutter Phenomenon. I mean, yes, there were some more slowed down parts, but the riff. One thing about Every Time I Die, riffs galore. You got riffs
Oh,
on
yeah.
riffs.
Absolutely.
This one though kind of changed tempos a little bit, but still great. No Son of Mine, great opener. Again, not only calling out the music industry, but it's a call out to all these bands that are. It's calling out record labels taking advantage of bands, and calling out bands that are copying them that they don't want any association with, like the That Rat Has Its Mother's Eyes, Deadbeat, Godfather, uh, stuff like that. It's just riddled throughout this album, that song, but also most of the album. Then also, their biggest song, Werewolf, again,
Hell yeah.
parting, somehow making it seem more poetic and deeper than that, but it's
Yeah.
really just about being a party animal. Um, and then also some other deep tracks that I love on this is In Rehab, with a great riff featuring the guy from Alex is on Fire, and also Sitting Color. Other songs, A Gentleman's Sport, Cities and Years. It's a weird angular riff song, but that ending with the breakdowns, great, well worth it. I love this album. I could probably say that about every single one of these albums. I'm trying to only give only one album in their discography a 10, and I know which one it is. I'm gonna give this one a 9.3.
Oh yeah. Yeah, dude, this is whenever like I really fell in love with this band. Like I really started liking them last one, but like really, really fell in love with them with this band. That's like probably solely for Werewolf. Like, dude, I just that song is so damn good. Ding 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 ding. Ding. It's just so damn good, dude. And I think like I love the melding of like the southern rock with like the hardcore punk. I think it's a beautiful blend, man.
Oh yeah.
And like even the vocals on that song is like, and they kind of like it starts off, riffy as hell and like super southern rock vibes, but then it just kind of breaks into this like progressive, like you don't live till you're ready to die. You don't live till like almost like rockabilly style, but like just super badass, man. Like I loved it. Um, but yeah, solid stellar album just for that reason, just for that song. I would give this one a 9.1. Fuck it.
Okay.
Be weird.
Okay. So we got an 18.3. Hell
Or
yeah.
no, you gave it a 9.3.
Did I? Oh,
Yeah. Or 18.4, I guess. One off, whatever.
yeah, because you did 9.1.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So
think.
yeah, I want to say you did because I want to say I just had to add the one. But yeah, this is when I got to see them live the first time shortly after. Great. Although I also this is that first metal concert I was telling you about, where there's a lot of crowd killing going on. Not only that,
Mhm.
we were all the way in Omaha and I locked my ride's car with the keys in it while I was
Oh
running.
fuck. Oh my
And
god.
shout out Corey Fromm if you're listening. I don't know if you are, but if you are, sorry. What, 17
Oh.
years later? Because we had to wait until
Wow.
like midnight. Show got over like 11 or 11:30 or some shit like that. We had to call a locksmith to come get it. So
Oh,
we
it
waited there
sucks.
forever, and he charges extra because it was his off hours, and all he did was use a Slim Jim.
What an asshole.
And not so
Locksmiths are such shady dudes.
well. Not only that, like since his car was running the entire time, like we were literally just went there to get like drinks and water and stuff like that to rehydrate. Had to get gas then because left the car running with it locked in.
Wow.
But yeah, Every Time I Dies, Big Dirty, even referenced by John Taffer when Every Time I Die messaged him on, I think Twitter or something like not that long. Well, I guess it was a long time ago, just 2010 era. But yeah, John Taffer even says it's the best Every Time I Die album. Can't be wrong. But
Damn.
moving on to 2009's New Junk Aesthetic. Leading up to this,
Oh shit.
I remember
This one's
reading.
so good.
Yeah, I remember actually 2010's New Junk Aesthetic.
Nice. There you go.
I don't own many, so I had to take some of them out and to show it. I only own two. But
Nice.
so the lead up to this album, I remember there was a interview in a magazine. I think it was Andy was talking about it, one of the guitarists. Leading up to this album, they decided they wanted to change things a little bit because they noticed while touring the Big Dirty, although the fans seemed to love the songs, there wasn't that much going on in the crowd. There was just a lot of people standing around watching. Like, so they wanted to get back to more heaviness and more energy. So that's why they applied to try to decide to add some new stuff into this new album, and that came out with the New Junk Aesthetic. This is I wouldn't say it's a concept album, but there is a recurring theme of like static and almost like a white noise kind of thing throughout this album. Uh, Amazing opener with Roman Holiday. Start kicks off that white noise
Oh,
scratchiness
one of my
into
favorite songs.
yes, open up with some little doominess, little the chanting, the whole vibes.
Hell
The
yeah.
but there's so I'll say some things. There's pros and cons about this album. So the pros, the opener, great. Lyrics of the opener, great. Kicks right into the Marvis Slut featuring the one, the only Greg Puciato. Maybe some foreshadowing into Better Lovers, but at the time, Dillinger Escape Plan, great addition, great.
Hell yeah.
Another good song, Wanderlust, catchy as hell. Again with that Southern style, from what I understand, Thin Lizzy inspired riff. Then also
Okay.
after one quarter of Revolution is a banger, add more into that static stuff. White Smoke's also good, and I remember Organ Grinder. There's a lot of, there's a lot of good stuff in here. However, there are some negatives when it comes to this album, in that Keith Buckley, in an interview, was talking about when it came to this album, he was not excited and he recognized he wasn't excited. So he decided to overcompensate by trying to make the most complicated lyrics. And looking back, he's kind of cringes about some of those. And it's kind of noticeable because there seems to be almost, I wouldn't say a recurring lyric, but almost a recurring theme with lyrics. And I can't put my finger on what that theme is. Just because you're afraid of the dark doesn't mean it's frightened of you. Um, there's nothing to see here, and that nothing looks back at us. Stuff like that in this album, to where it's like it sounds cool, it sounds like it's a recurring theme, but I don't understand what it's supposed to mean.
Hmm.
And then also, this is the last album to feature Mike Novak, the drummer, who, for me, when I heard the announcement, was a shock. However, it was explained that they were tired. They didn't like the musical direction he was doing. He was getting lazier and lazier with his drums. And looking back on it and listening to this again, I can see that to where it sounds like the band wants to go more and more, but the drums are getting just kind of, it's doing a lot of the bare minimum when it comes to the drums. But
Okay.
the guitars and the vocalists carry this album. They even have, for the first time in this band's whole inception, a steady bassist in Josh Newton. Um, but I'm going to give this a 8.5. It's still great. There's just is some flaws that kind of dampen it a little bit. So I'm going to give it an 8.5.
Okay. Yeah, dude, I absolutely love this album, and probably mostly for Roman Holiday. I think that is just an epic ass opener. One of my favorite Every Time I Die songs for sure. But this one for me is really easy to just front to back listen to all the way through with no issues. I really dug it. So, but like their titles for me, the problem I have with Every Time I Die is like their titles are so unique that they almost just like I forget them. Like that probably doesn't make a lot of sense, but um, so really an Every Time I Die album, I just let kind of ride start to finish, and I just don't really focus on this title track. So terrible with song names, but definitely love this album. I give this one a 9.
Okay. So we're at 17. Oh, that's going to be a 17.5 tied with Gutter Phenomenon.
Ooh, interesting.
So, like I said, we've been in the work tour phase. However, this is that I would say New Junk Aesthetic is the end of the work tour phase because I remember seeing them on the Epitaph tour with August Burns Red and Bring Me the Horizon. And or no, yeah, Bring the Horizon. And then Every Time I Die was headlining. I want to say that's the last time they've ever toured with bands like that. Moving forward, they tour with completely different bands, and it starts with the change in drums from Mike Novak to Ryan Lager or Legier. I don't know how to pronounce this guy's name. And with this, they lean more and more into their hardcore influences, even when it comes to their tours, getting more into lower level bands or more hardcore theme bands. Like I remember they toured with, I want to say it was Acacia Strain and some like hardcore band, like leaning more into like hardcore centric bands instead of like metalcore bands and stuff like that.
Okay.
So with this all came about with their 2011, I want to say, album, X Lives. Very more hardcore focused. But the opener,
Is it X Lives or X Lives?
I want to say it's X Lives. It's supposed to be kind of like an ex-wife or something like that, but I think I want to say X Lives.
Oh, okay.
I want to say. But it opens up with, in my opinion, one of my favorite openers they have. Like they have a lot of great openers. We just got done with Roman Holiday, great opener. Before that, No Son of Mine, great opener. And even moving forward, there's also great openers. This one, I want to say, if we were to rank the openers, I would say this would be at the top. There might be something else at the top. I don't know which one that would be, but this opens with Underwater Bimbos from Outer Space. Terrible name, like you brought up. Has zero to do with the song.
Yeah.
But the opener just, I want to be dead with my friends. I want to be dead with my friends. Shedding the skin of what they once used to do with like all these Warped Tour style bands. Because that's what it is. They wish the band was no more and they didn't have like the actual, what they believed were the real bands that had something to say. And that's what that whole song's about. And then,
interesting.
But also, then they have like this whole like period of like just straight up hardcore songs like what I don't have that album, but I Suck Blood, You bring it up, and now I can't think of any of the names of those songs now.
The low road has no exits. Drag King, Revival Mode.
I know
Indian
those
Giver,
ones. I'm thinking
Grudge
of the
Music,
ones in between. I
Holy
think of
Book of
the
Dilemma,
more the early. Yeah, that's one. I
Wild
Suck Blood.
Shameless Plane.
Yeah, those ones. It's quick song after quick song of just hardcore craziness. Yeah, Holy Book of Dilemma, Wild Shameless Pain, Typical Miracle, I Suck Blood. It's just back to back to back of crazy fast songs with some great lyrics in them. Anyway, like I'd rather beg your forgiveness than solicit permission. Uh, that was one. Then there's also we are given too much room to do only good. We are more curious than bold, and stuff like that. Great, just like great lines and stuff like that. And then it gets into a great song. Again, another party song, but this one has a little bit of like extra to it, and that is Partying is Such Sweet Sorrow with the great opener. Bottom of the first drink, I found my nerve. Bottom of the next one, I met my girl. Bottom of the third drink, I found the fourth. Bottom of that one was Trojan Horse. It's a great song about partying, but it's also does actually. So they've always had songs about partying. They add an element to make it seem like it's more poetic. This one actually does a little bit because it's almost about like you can try to live like a perfect life, but I'd rather just do what I want to do. Like I can follow the because very paired with religion, like
Huh.
and stuff like that. But it's like you can live your life, but I'm going to live my life of sin and live the life I want to live, kind of thing. It might, and he's kind of acknowledging he might have an alcoholism problem, which eventually, later in the road, he does admit I am, and he quits alcoholism. Great song. And then you also have Revival Mode with almost a ballad, kind of again that classic rock Andy Williams style riff, and then the ender. I think it's Indian Giver, which is what the last song they played when we saw them, which had that awesome, weird, trippy vibe. It's a fun album. I do feel like there is some dead parts, especially with those songs I couldn't think the name of. The but I'm still gonna give this probably a 7.5 just because the songs that are on this that are great are amazing. So yeah, I'm gonna give this a 7.5.
Okay. This is kind of where I fell off with Every Time I Die, and I just really did not keep tabs. I just kind of failed to stay up to date with them. So this one, honestly, man, I've not spun very many times at all. So forgive me, Every Time I Die, hardcore fans, but I would probably give this one a 7 for those reasons.
All right, so we're gonna be at a solid 15.
Man, my dog won't shut the fuck up.
Actually, wait. No, that's 16.
What is it? What's the
It's
number?
actually a 16. If I had did I have a 7.5 and you had a what?
7.
Oh.
14.5.
Oh, yeah, you're right. My math's off. All right.
All good. Hey, let me pause real quick. I gotta go check my dog. Sorry.
You're good.
All right. From Parts Unknown.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like a live album, doesn't it?
It does. Even the cover looks like a live album.
Mhm.
This came out in 2014. This is even though I have this one, this isn't one of my favorites, but I can still talk about it a little bit. This came out when I was at basic training. I was didn't even know they were coming out with an album. They just randomly released a single, I think, on a Warped Tour sampler album, and that was their track "Thirst." Very much in line with those tracks I couldn't remember from X Lives. Very fast, very very short. Um, cool line at the end with the "I don't, they don't love you like I do," or "They know you better, I know you best," something like that. To along those lines, That was what came out. So I was a little like, I don't really care too much. It came out. I checked it out a little bit. Didn't care too much. But it's grown on me more and more. Songs like Decaying with the Boys, great song. The last two times I saw them, the time I saw with you, they opened with this. It's a great live party song, very in line with Werewolf. Um,
Mhm.
Very much just embracing. I'm just kind of a shitty guy. I'm just going to do what I want to do. If it is what it is, that's the attitude of the song. Um, but something on this album that I think is a huge highlight is a very experimental song. And from what I can tell, this is the first time Keith has actually done something wrote something very personal in his life, to made it on a song. And that is the song More. This is a song, from what I understand, the interview, he won't go into details about it, but someone in his life that he loves very dearly, why he was on tour, was attacked by a man. And when he came home, he was trying to console them, but the person had already moved on, made peace with it, and almost like forgave the person who did it. But he was still like super angry about it, wanting revenge, but he had to put on this fake face that he's forgiven this person. And that's what this whole song is about. I have a theory that maybe this is his wife or his sister. And it sounds almost like a rape of some kind based off of how the lyrics go. Like the lyrics, actually, I'll just pull them up here.
Yeah, definitely a different song for in their discography, no doubt.
Oh, yes, very heavy. Pay no mind to the stranger in the 4 a.m. He's not the one we know, and he knows. I slept through the war you waged with him for a little bit until he cracked your bones, and I had to let go. So make believe I discovered peace, but I'll skin the man alive and sell the meat. I'll wait in the dirt where he left your blood. If he returns for it, I can make it right for good. Oh, how I wish he would. Lost you in the overflowing fog that's been here a while. So I plan to keep watch as long as the wolves are out. They're always around and more violent than hell. I have eyes of every color now and they're vigilant. It doesn't matter who knocks, you don't let them in. There are terrible men. I am one, so I am one, so I would know. Heaven smiles on me now and then, but the devil always had hooks in. All I want is his head, and this horrible fucking world will be wonderful again. There is so much beauty in love, and when I eat his beating heart, I can bring it back to us. There is nothing I couldn't do except cover you. When the slings and arrows came, I've never been the same. Very,
Damn.
very, and listening to it, it has a very awkward beginning with the piano and how he's singing, and then it just bursts into just anger and just heaviness. That I love it. I love listening to it over and over again. It gets me in my feels. It's a great song on an otherwise album I don't care too much about. So I'm gonna give this album probably a 7.
Okay. I really love this opener, man. The Great Secret. I think that opener is fantastic fun.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. I think it's a freaking ripper. But like you said, another good track, Decaying with the Boys. I feel like I jammed this album a lot whenever it came out, but man, it's been a minute. And I failed to run through it again. But I do remember really liking this one a lot. I would give this an 8.
Okay. So that would be a 15. Gotta do this again. Head or above. So an even 15.
Time to add again.
At least it's just full numbers, not decimals. All
True
right.
that.
All right. Up next. So before I get into this album, there's a lot of this because this album is heavy and for a lot of reasons. Both musically, it's very heavy, but also the song subject matter is very heavy because it's based on a very heavy events that happened in Keith's life. So while touring for From Parts Unknown, his wife was pregnant, and at one point she was very I forget what the word is, where she's at risk pretty much the
Mm.
entire pregnancy.
Okay.
And at one point, I want to say she was only like 6 months pregnant, or somewhere around there. It was still pretty early. They had to rush her to the hospital, and he was on tour, so he immediately came home. And there was such complications that they did deliver the baby, but there was no way to tell if either his wife or the baby would live, and he had to do this limbo of, I don't know if I'll have a family. I don't know if I'll have part of my family for about a month's time, maybe even more, where he has that headspace. And during that time, that is where a lot of the ideas of their 2018, is that right?
16 is what Spotify shows.
20, okay, yeah. 2016, Low Teens came out. This album is essentially all about that experience in some way or form. So kicks off with Fear and Trembling, which is, from what I understand, based on a book about the story of Abraham, where God tells him to kill his own son. And it's him, and it's all about him thinking about if he has to sacrifice his child to make sure his wife lives, could he make that decision, kind of thing. And this is also featuring, I mentioned it earlier with the first album, and it features Tim Singer, the singer from Dead Guy, coming full circle
Oh, wow.
on this song. Fast forward to I didn't want to join your stupid cult anyway, is a reference to all the Christian bands that he thought he was friends with back in his work tour days, who
Oh, wow.
he thought, would be supportive in this time, just turned their backs on him. And this is his big fuck you to them kind of thing.
Okay.
It Remembers, featuring Brandon Urie from Panic at the Disco, is about karma. It's a lot of this whole thinking that is what's happening to me now because of every shitty thing I've done in my entire life. This is that idea of that karma keeps count. Even if you might not think that, if you think you got away with it, karma will keep score and it will come back to haunt you, kind of thing. Coin has a say.
Oh, it's such a good one.
Oh yeah, this was the lead single off it, and this is a banger of a song. This is about how life is very random. The best thing in your life could be right after the seconds after the worst thing in your life. Nothing in your
Sure.
life is guaranteed. It could always every outcome that you encounter in your day is a flip of a coin, essentially.
Mhm.
So great song, especially. I'll stop on this song for a little bit because there's a lot of great lines in this song. I feel all right, but I'm buried alive. I knew God has emerged from the mist and took the blade from my wrist. Then also that the closing line. I can't go back to what I was. Metallica without the drugs. A faith healer
Yeah.
without the plan. There's
Oh,
no hope for
yeah.
a hollow man.
Oh, man. Yeah, dude. Oh, such a good one. Such a damn good song. Such a damn good album.
Oh yeah. And then
I mean,
the ender with map change. And this is one of those things that also gets you in your feels, at least me in my feels.
well, so that's what I was going to ask. Does Spotify have this out of track list? Because I thought map change was the ender too, but this shows map change two
So
above.
what they've been doing ever since, I want to say it's ever since X Lives, they've been adding bonus tracks to every one of their songs. So that's what those last
Okay.
two songs are. That's why all of them say deluxe edition afterwards.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, Map
Gotcha.
Change is the last song on the actual album itself. And this is a song about kind of similar to The Coin Has a Say, but it has to do with people. So when he was at the hospital, because apparently his wife and his daughter were at different hospitals. So he would have to travel back and forth. And sometimes he'd be out in the hallway. And there's at one point he was looking down the hall in the room next to him. A baby was born. The family was all happy. They were crying in joy. And then there was him at the lowest point in his life. And he was thinking about that. And that's what this song is about, to where when you are at your lowest point, it's just you. No one knows how low you are, because the person right next to you could be, but just like with the coin, as I say, the person next to you could be had the highest point in their life. You don't know what the person next to you is kind of dealing with, kind of thing. And it's a way down the earth from the stars to the pavement. It's about the heaviness of life and stuff like that. And it's a very emotional song, especially with what the song's about.
For sure.
I love this album. This is my 10. I think, in my opinion, this is the culmination of Every Time I Die. It's the most personal album. Yeah, this is my 10.
I think it holds a heavy emotional element for sure, man, and like kind of circles back to that song like more. And I feel like Map Change, you get a lot of that emotion, heavy emotion in it. And so like, was the falling out after this album?
It was after Radical.
Okay. But I want to say, like, didn't it kind of start here? Didn't he kind of start to differ with the other band members here and like have erratic behavior changes with them? And like, no, am I wrong?
I'd say there was C's, and because I have a theory about it, and that's more fleshed out in the next album.
But yeah, dude, like, I don't know. Map Change is just such a heavy song to me, and like I love this album through and through, but I feel like that is the perfect ender to an Every Time I Die album. And I agree with you, man. I feel like this is my favorite Every Time I Die. I feel like it's a culmination of what they've been trying to get to all their years of writing, and it sounds like, when I heard this album, I was like, man, I can't believe they hadn't done this before. It's like, it's that good. You know what I mean? And it just, I don't know. It's a beautiful album. And yeah, absolutely. I'm right there with you. For me, it's a 10 out of 10.
Hell yeah. It's, I love it so much.
I do too.
But
I really would love to have this vinyl.
Oh yeah. That's one of the things. That's why I only have the 2. It's kind of hard to find their vinyl, especially these 3 albums. They're not the first one. That probably is hard to find too, but these 3 albums are really hard to find. They're like the holy grails of Every Time I Die albums. I want to say this one got Better Phenomenon had a repress, and it sold out in a few hours, because I remember went to go to look for it like the next day, and it was sold out. And I couldn't believe it. Was like,
man,
I didn't think they were that big. And they're like, what do you think was gonna happen? They only pressed it one time. I didn't think they had this many fans that were wanting this vinyl.
Damn.
But yeah. So with the end of Low Teens, came out in 2016. Their next album didn't come out till, I want to say, 2021. So there were some
5 years later.
Yeah, there were some issues with this one. So both as a band and then some personal conflicts issues. So his wife, the one that was sung about worrying about losing in Low Teens, that was his high school sweetheart. From what I understand, they've been dating since high school, kind of thing. From what I understand. However, between Low Teens and this new album, Radical, they had separated and gotten divorced. I was even worried about him because I was following him, I think, on like Patreon or something. He was living in an RV. I was very worried. But I guess he was fine. He got a new girlfriend. I don't know if that's part of the reason for the split. I don't really know what the reason for the split was. That happened. Then also he went completely sober. Quit alcohol all in general. And then COVID happened. And apparently they had already written the song and were about to release it. Then COVID happened. and they apparently, I don't know if they decided, but the band said that they would not release it unless they could tour on it. So they were holding off until they could tour on it. Hence why it came out in 2021. And if all that is true, then this album is very predicted a lot of things. However, so I'm not saying it's a bad album. It's still a great album, but there's a lot of things that I'm a little hesitant on with this album. I'm probably
I
on
gotta pause right there. Opie's going nuts, man. Sorry.
You're good.
Sorry, man.
You're good. Yeah. There's a lot on this album.
Anyways.
Yeah, there's a lot on this album I like, but there is some things that just kind of irk me a little bit, and I think it has to do with there's some drama with the band as well, and it all kind of ties into some of the stuff in this album. Um, so politically, I do line up. I would say I'm probably on the same side as what he's talking about. Probably not as extreme as what he's talking about, but also I don't like how much on the nose the lyrics are, how blunt it is, because I wish there was a little bit more um, vagueness and more idea constructing instead of just recycling the same kind of talking points we've heard before. It's very This album is very political. Even though so for example, even though this is written before COVID happened, the opening lines to the album is spare only the ones I love, slay the rest, which I'm assuming before COVID. But if you're on the side of like taking COVID seriously or not kind of thing, that's where I think that kind of lines up, at least from my thinking of where they probably are. Because you got to remember at this time, he was Keith was very vocal about he refused to tour with Norma Jean because of first they said he said if he saw anyone with a MAGA hat at his concert, he would kick him out. And if Norma Jean heard that and said, "Okay, send him over to our show. We'll take everyone," kind of thing. And then they posted something about Norma Jean posted something about Black Lives Matter that upset every time I die, and every time I die. And Keith said, "Oh, don't worry, I've already told our manager they're not allowed to tour with us because of past things." It's like, that's a little like I understand where you're coming from, but at the same time, just like straight blackballing another band for just a few comments. I mean, come on, talk. Why don't you talk to the band? Like, I wanted to say these were guys were somewhat peers at the time. Anyways, it's some of that a little bit holier than thou attitude, which I think is what kind of led to the split. And I think there's a lot of that in this album, but there is still some great songs in here. I love Planet Shit, Postmortem, Rocking, Desperate Pleasures, amazing. I love every part of it. All the lyrics are great. That's the one that I think is I love the most, but still super political. A liar's a liar. Take him as word. Forever rebelling against the absurd, and then something about you put down your weapons, but now he has two. I love the lyrics on that, and then the world made us sick. How can it heal us? We cannot be saved by the men digging graves. Great lyrics. And then another song, All This in War, featuring Josh Skogan of the Chariot in '68. Awesome, great breakdown. I love their mashup. In fact, when they broke up, that's who I thought was going to be their new lead singer in Better Lovers. But I'm still glad with who they chose. Another personal song with A Thing with Feathers. So the Buckley brothers do have a sister who I understand has suffered disease her whole life where she's wheelchair bound. She died before the album came out, and that's what the song is about, is their sister who died. Very sad, emotional. Then we get to AWOL.
Damn.
Yeah.
AWOL's great, man.
Yeah, great infectious groove. However, someone pointed out what the lyrics might be talking about, and this is another thing that kind of makes me feel uncomfortable. It feels like he's talking about his divorce, which makes me feel uncomfortable because I don't know if I really, with pairing this song and then also the song Sex, Sex, Sex. And then there's another line in this album where it says, "Fuck off, I'm in love." I don't feel like I'm rooting for Keith in this divorce. And just in my personal opinion, and so when him complaining about his divorce or talking about their drifting apart from each other, I feel dirty about it. It doesn't feel good. Yeah. So this album, although there's a lot of great songs on this, with The Whip is another great song. There's a lot of great stuff in this, but for me, this feels like Low Teens was the final chapter, the culmination of Every Time I Die's career, and this is like an epilogue, or how all their previous albums have had bonus tracks. This is the bonus track album, in my opinion. It's still great, a lot of great stuff on it, but I'm going to give this a 8.7.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, man. I feel like Keith kind of put himself out on a platter with this album, and within that, leaving his relationship phase too. Like I definitely got those vibes as well. And I agree. It almost seems like he's kind of throwing out his honesty, but maybe he probably shouldn't have.
Yeah.
Because he almost doesn't seem like the good one out of the two. Like he seems like the split's almost on his behalf, and he's just like, fuck it, I don't care, I'm doing what I want, sort of thing. But it doesn't really feel good, you know what I mean? So I don't know. With that being said, this album's got bangers, it's got riffs, and still hits in moments, man. Like you said, Planet Shit's great. Postmortem, A Colossal Wreck, I love that one. And then AWOL, great again. but still probably not quite on par with Low Teens for me. I still think Low Teens is that big epic Every Time I Die forever album for me. This one just kind of fell short, man, and I think that Keith's um, exiting, I think his differences between the band really it just showed all over social media. I felt like he was kind of going AWOL, honestly.
Mhm.
And I think that this album really reflects him and radical. I mean, honestly. But yeah, so I don't know. I'd probably give this one a 7.5.
Okay. So that's a math. 15.2, no, 16.2. So and also so because we both touched on it, it also seems like he's put himself on above everyone else because of his beliefs. He's already doing that with his beliefs, and then he also adds on his sober. I'm sober. The rest of the band was not sober. That was very
Mm,
clear. They're not. I mean, why should the whole band change because of your choices, kind of thing?
yeah.
And it seems that when they were even talking about the breakup, he would separate himself from the band entirely because he didn't want to be around them drinking, and it added more
Mm,
to that whole almost like a lead singer syndrome kind of thing. The whole like
yeah.
I'm better than the rest of this band kind of thing. I am the star, and
Yeah.
so
Oh, I can't help but think that had to have had an impact on the brothers, like
yes,
that relationship. Not only are they in a band and have the band relationship, but as far as like, holidays come around, you have the family functions, and what does that look like? Are they isolated even there now too?
I don't know, and I want to say it's probably it probably sucks even harder because of what happened with the sister. Like it should be like a healing moment, but then the brothers, I'm assuming, aren't talking to each other at all anymore. But
Yeah.
I've always felt that animosity between them a little bit because I've never seen them together except on stage. Like whenever like because every time I've seen Every Time I Die, they're always walking around the crowd afterwards or a little bit before the show. I
Hmm.
remember even seeing the first time I saw him, Jordan was walking around and some girl was talking to him, hadn't signed stuff, and she asked him, "Where's Keith?" Or "Where's Keith?" And he goes, "I don't fucking know. Do I have to have a Keith radar on me at all times to figure out where he's at?"
Oh, it's hilarious.
So I always felt like there was a little bit of animosity because I never really saw them interact with each other much.
Huh.
But
That's
I don't know.
interesting. That's interesting. Yeah. There's I mean, they're not the only band with brothers. Like I can't help but think of Chris and Willie Adler, Lamb of God,
Hmm.
and that separation. And I mean, Chris, he didn't even really he didn't go lower by any means. He's in fucking Megadeth, one of the biggest metal bands out there. So, I
Yeah.
mean, they're still probably playing arena sold out tours. But I thought that separation was very weird.
Hmm.
Not to get off the Every Time I Die train, but that one always struck me as odd. Like you've spent all these years making this great music and now you want to leave? Like, I don't know if it was just out of boredom or what, but I don't know. But
I don't know.
anyways, yeah.
I really do miss him being in that band because I feel like he was so good in that band, and
Mhm.
I haven't really been into Lamb of God since he left the band. Like the band's had some good songs here and there, but it's never been like
Yeah.
sacrament level. It's never been Ashes of the Wake
Right.
or even even the Sturm und Drag. It hasn't been at that
Hmm.
level or anything like that.
Yeah, I agree, man. That's the last Lamb of God that I've liked is when they were with Chris Adler.
Hmm.
And I felt like they even in their later days, like you said, that seven album Sturm Drag, whatever the fuck it's called. It even had hits, man. And that's when they did that Overlord clean singing, bold choice, but successful hit. Um, So I don't know, man. Yeah, the brother dynamic it's definitely got to put some different aspects into the band. Interesting.
And I've always kind of I was thinking about today, I was wanting to bring it up at some point, I guess I forgot. I've always seen a little bit of parallel with Lamb of God's career and Every Time I Die's career. Because they've even toured together back with their I want to say as the Palaces Burns would have been their album, and then Every Time I Die would have been Hot Damn. Very similar for both their careers. And then they're
Oh.
both their first albums are both very similar to where they're very rough and never play anything from it kind of
Yeah,
thing. But yeah.
that's wild.
Yeah.
Hmm.
This is our Every Time I Die album rankings. At number 1 with a perfect 20, we have Low Teens. Number 2, we got The Big Dirty, which I also forgot to mention is a Trailer Park Boys reference, apparently.
Oh,
I want to say you're a fan of that, aren't you? Do you know that
hell
movie
yeah.
where they're trying to pull the
Absolutely.
big dirty?
Yeah, it's a shit tornado.
Yeah, that's number
Or a
2.
shit NATO. I don't know. We're in the eye of a shit-a-can, Randy.
That's at number 2 with 18.4. And at number 3, we have a tie at 17.5 with Gutter Phenomenon and New Junk Aesthetic. Then below that at number, I guess it'd be number 5. We're talking about the 2 ties before. We got Radical, 16.2, 15.5 at number 6 is Hot Damn. Then at numbers, the next one is From Parts Unknown, then X Lives, and then finally at the last place with a 10 is Last Night in Town. I'm pretty content with that. I like
I
that.
am too. I think it looks good. Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, I know there's a lot of Every Time I Die. But if anyone's interested, I also recommend their DVDs. They have the DVD Shit Happens. Hilarious. This is them touring a lot. There's like some live music videos of songs. This is during the Gutter Phenomenon time.
Oh,
Fucking
that's cool.
fucking hilarious. Like they
That's
were
awesome.
they did I guess during Hurricane Katrina, them and a bunch of other bands went down there to help. And I guess one of the guys that was helping them, like a civilian or some FEMA person, was like, "Oh, you guys are in a band, huh?" Like, yeah. And then he's like talking about like, "Oh yeah, I used to play guitar, really into that." Like, and he started naming like classic rock bands. And there's Andy Williams, who they were at gas stations. So he had an ice cream cone. He put flaming hot Cheetos on it for some reason, and just like, I should have told that guy our name of the band is like "I Hate God" or "Fucked with a Knife."
Yeah. Oh, that's hilarious.
But yeah. So that concludes our Every Time I Die. Up next is your turn. Who would you like to pick?
Hmm. Who we gonna rank? You know what? We brought him up in just moments ago, and I don't think we've done him yet. The legendary, the one and only LOG,
I was thinking the same
Lamb of
thing.
Lamb of Goats.
Yes, the Lamas of Gold.
I'm down. If you're down,
Absolutely.
I think it's a bit. I think it's overdue. I mean, if you're talking about metal, and I don't know about death metal, but if you're a fan of metal, you've heard Lamb of God, and you probably liked him at some point.
Yeah.
But so I think it's overdue.
Oh yeah. Will be. I'm not really too into the 2 newest albums, so I'll have to actually do a deep dive and actually listen to those all the way through. But I
Same.
love Every Time I Die or Lamb of God, so it'll be a breeze to get through it. I love them. It'll be fun. It'll be fun to see
Absolutely.
our rankings and what ends up where.
No doubt. And let's be honest, we'll probably break the new year in with this one, because I think next episode we got coming is our album of the year. So
Yes.
can
End of
look
the
forward
year
to that.
end of the year lists. We got a
Yeah, we got a
whole lot
load of shit to
preparing.
get through.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of having a top 10 each. Then if you want, you can have a
Okay.
couple honorable mentions, probably as many as you want. It's not going to matter to me. Because because obviously we did 130 plus releases. So
Oh my gosh.
if you can't
that's
narrow it
nuts.
down to 10 and there's something you just want to mention, I'm fine with that. But we'll do the 10 albums, then I'll do some like subcategories of some stuff. Yeah, let's have some fun. It's the end of the year, end of our
Absolutely, man.
first year. So let's
First
have
year
some
and
fun.
doing the daddy thing. Yeah. Let's
Hell
do
yeah.
it.
But yeah.
All right.
That's all I got. Do you have anything else you want to add before I start plugging away?
I don't think so, man. Plug it.
All right. So if you liked what you heard today, you can follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, some other, wherever you get your podcast streaming from, you can check us out on there. If you want to get us on social media, you can also check us out on Facebook, TikTok. We're also on YouTube. I just uploaded a bunch of episodes today. Check them out,
Like,
please.
Share.
And subscribe. Yeah.
Tell your brother. Tell your sister. Tell your mother.
They out here
They're killing everybody.
podcasting
Yeah.
everyone.
I don't remember what that line is, but it's something to that.
I didn't want to
effect.
say what he was going to be saying.
Yeah.
They're out there raping everyone.
Yeah.
But yeah. Check us out on those sites. You can even email us directly at deathmetaldaddies@gmail.com. Do it. Tell us how much you love these episodes. Tell us how good Olson's hair looks. I know mine doesn't look good. I don't have much left. But tell us how much you love our episodes. Tell us what you want us to check out and review, what album ranking we should do next. Or you can tell us how much we suck. Whatever you want to do. It's whatever. But yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, until then, we'll still be death metal daddying it up. Stay
Daddy
death
on.
metal daddy. Yeah, daddy on.
Check out
Daddy on, man.
Thunraz. Check out Lowen. Check out
Yes.
what was the other album?
No Cure.
No Cure. Check them out.
Yes. Do it. Do it now.
Do it and like it.
Just do it.
Do it and like it.